6:30 by our studio clock. You're welcome to 6:30 Prime News on my Major Prime live from Douala, the economic capital of Cameroon. My name is Genda Peldrin Blanche King. Recent road accidents recorded on major highways in the country have claimed the lives of some Cameroonian road users after the unfortunate accident that left 2 dead on Sunday along the Konsamba-Bafoussam Road. 3 persons have equally lost their lives following a road accident which occurred yesterday around Melong. Details in the following report. After the road accident recorded along National Road number 5, 3 people have been confirmed dead following an accident along the same stretch of road which occurred yesterday. 3 victims met their death around Melong when their bus carrying over 17 people collided with a truck. The pressure from the collision destroyed the bus beyond repairs. Some passengers are badly injured and at the hospital receiving treatment, while the remains of the deceased were transported to the mortuary for burial arrangements. In another accident along the Yaoundé-Douala stretch, a cargo vehicle was violently hit by a vehicle leaving the mechanic. Coach Jordan Intep, head trader of the national cycling team, driver and team doctor were occupants of the cargo vehicle that was badly destroyed. Unfortunately, Coach Jordan Intep lost his life during the accident. The driver and team doctor were injured. According to reports, he was headed for Douala from Yaoundé when he met his death. These accidents sets the tally at about 7 accidents recorded along the Konsamba-Bafoussam stretch of road, Yaoundé-Douala stretch, and Buda-Babaju stretch since the start of this week. An alleged impostor has been uncovered in Yaoundé, accused of using titles and signatures of ministers to dupe high-profile personalities and organizations out of the country. He was uncovered after thorough investigations carried out by the judicial police. Details with Nora Kakebi.
Here is the man who posed as Minister, Director of Civil Cabinet at the Presidency of the Republic of Cameroon. Eyafa Jacques Calvin, alias Samuel Vondo Ayono, is an alleged impostor currently under police custody in Yaoundé. Reports say the condemned inmate is said to have been using the title and signature of the Director of the Civil Cabinet at the Presidency of the Republic to help him extort money from high-profile personalities. The alleged impostor, an inmate of the Yaoundé Maximum Security Prison, was trailed and apprehended on May 5, 2021. Local reports say Eyafa is reported to have put a call through to the President of the Republic of Niger, posing as a Director of Civil Cabinet at the Presidency of the Republic of Cameroon.
We started our investigation by localizing the phone number. We realized that the phone number is located at the prison central of Kondengi. After search, we arrested the suspect.
On accessing Eyafa's phone directory, it was later found out that the impostor had attempted severally to extort huge sums of money from organizations attached to the United Nations, the World Bank, embassies, international businessmen, as well as diplomatic services. According to the police, Eyafa will be presented to the State Council as soon as they are done with investigations.
When we finish our investigation, we are going to present him to the State Council by tomorrow.
The convict was actually expecting an exorbitant amount of 300,000 euros, which is equivalent to 195 million CFA francs from an American NGO. It should be noted that the judicial police in Yaoundé has taken measures to stamp out such high-level fame mania.
Muslim faithfuls at the Old Town neighborhood in Bamenda have received donations from the Bamenda 2 Council led by Mayor Chenwe Peter as support to the Holy Calendar. Mayor Chenwe Peter, handling over the gifts to the Muslim community, appreciated their efforts in praying and standing for peace, especially at a time when the Northwest region and Bamenda is battling or facing the socio-political crisis coupled with the health crisis in the country. Charles Kebwa reports from the Northwest region.
Muslim faithful at the Old Town neighborhood in Bamenda have received items as support to their holy calendar from the Bamenda 2 Council. The items donated by the Bamenda 2 Council May 7, 2021, the Mayor Chenwe Peter, accompanied by the GO Bamenda 2 Subdivision, deputies and councillors handing over the items to the Muslim community salute their effort for prayers and stand for peace. Believes the gifts will strengthen them as they prepare to round up with their fast while praying for peace to reign in the northwest struck by the ongoing Anglophone crisis.
We're in a decentralized state, and we look at the vision of the head of state. This country lives as one. This country is one and indivisible. We live as a family. The Muslim community during this moment of fasting, we're doing a lot of prayers, fasting for peace to reign in this country. We fast for unity. So we as Christians, we have to come and show that solidarity to share with them. To tell them that we are a family and we live and we are one and indivisible family. That is why today, you understand that for a family during this moment of fasting, they are not viable. We need to come as a council to assist us everyone to be able to break the fast.
The items, bags of rice, cartons of dates, salt, Maggi and others, appreciating the gesture from the Bamenda 2 Council towards them, Muslims as a community. Al-Haji Tanko Bali, who sat in for the Sarki of Old Town Bamenda, said, when someone gives help, it doesn't mean the person is rich or that the person receiving is poor, but the gesture shows the significance of brotherhood.
Muslims appreciate this gesture because we have been doing it last year and this year. When somebody is giving you that, it does not mean that he's very rich. And then you who is receiving it does not mean that you are very poor. Something like this sound like just significant, to signify that we have brotherhood with it.
The gifts handed Friday, same day Muslims gathered for prayers as they continue fasting while await the feast of Ramadan in the days ahead is a usual routine from the Bamenda 2 Council led by Mayor Chenry Peter since took over office.
The Chief of Onyanango in Boya, His Royal Highness Pastor Oscar Teke Kute, has made a clarion call to all kinsmen who have over the years settled in neighboring villages to return home and develop the community. He made the call from his village or from his palace in Onyanango, and he equally warned land grabbers to stay off village lands. Clarice Ekowe completes the story in the following report.
Heavy bulldozers demarcating community land into structure blocks such as major road paths, farming lands, playing grounds where children and youth can relax. This is Wonanango, a village found in the Membia community area in Bokwango Boya, southwest region of Cameroon, being given a facelift. Supervising this activity was the chief of Wonanango, Pastor Oscar Teke Etute.
Well, I want to thank, first of all, my brothers who have left all the way from Limbe with the caterpillar, the team from Tico, from the day one right up to this particular day that we are ending, almost running up of the project, the first phase of our project. I want to thank God so much for us to demarcate plots and streets.
According to the chief and his team, other priority areas will be to tap water from available catchments to ensure that this village has constant flowing water. In addition, health, education, among other structures, will also be developed in order to make this village habitable for its residents. Thus, it is time for all kingsmen who in the past had fled to neighboring villages to return back to the village, as Chief Oscar Teke appeals.
A word to the sons and daughters of Onyanango is that I want to call on them. Please, people should come. Your chief is calling on you. There cannot be a chief without people. People should live out there. We can make this our village a city in the jungle, like our chairman will say. We can beautify it the way many people will jealous of it. So I'm calling on every sons and daughters of Onyanango village that they should come. The time has come. We have done our part.
This outing was also an opportunity for Chief Oscar Teke to send a resounding warning to all those still illegally occupying vast pieces of lands meant for the villagers to back off and return the lands back to the indigenes.
Lamidos in the north region of Cameroon have voted in a new Lamido to replace Alim Ayatu, who passed away on the 5th of April 2021. The voting process started yesterday, Monday, as Gladys Pomotongina tells us in the French language.
Après les 21 ans de règne d'Alim Ayatou comme Lamido de Garoua est décédé le 5 avril dernier. C'est donc le capitaine d'armée Ibrahim El Rachidini qui prend les rênes de ce Lamida, en déclassant par là les autres candidats, parmi lesquels l'ancien président de la FECAFOOT, Issa Hayatou. Ceci arrive après une séance de vote avec en son sein un collège de 12 notables en présence des autorités administratives, judiciaires, des élites et de la population nombreuse, présidée par là par le préfet de la Benue, Oumarou Amanouabi.
Les consultations traditionnelles pour procéder à son remplacement après la vacance constatée le 7 avril dernier. Mais avant d'entrer dans le vif du sujet, permettez-moi d'abord de vous souhaiter à chacune et à chacun d'entre vous une bienvenue ici à la place de l'esplanade de l'Amida de Garoua.
Les populations de cette région du pays n'ont pas manqué de donner leur attente vis-à-vis du nouveau Lamido.
Un chef qui est rassembleur, un chef qui pense à la population, aux pauvres, aux nécessiteux. Voilà ce que nous attendons de lui.
Ibrahim El Rachidini, qui obtient cette voix sur les 12, est devenu ainsi le 15e Lamido dans la dynastie de Garoua, présente lui aussi son cahier de charges.
D'assurer la continuité dans l'exécution des affaires courantes en ce qui concerne la tradition. Nous allons essayer de mettre du sien pour rehausser l'image de l'islam au sein de Garoua, de nos traditions, de nos us et coutumes. Essayer d'assurer la sûreté de la ville de Garoua et s'inscrire dans les jeux du président de la République, chef de l'État.
Une nouvelle ère entre donc dans l'histoire du Lamida de Garoua.
You're watching Prime News on My Major Prime. Away from that, the first edition of the Southwest Insurance Awareness Day took place recently in Limbe under the theme Insurance and Customer Satisfaction, featuring a working session and week-long activities, including major talks and the sensitization tour from Boya to Limbe. Eileen Sama reports.
It has been revealed that less than 10% of Cameroonians are covered by insurance, while 90% are unaware or ignorant on insurance policy in the country. The revelation was made by the Inspector General at the Southwest Governor's Office, Mr. Daniel Ekole, during the first edition of Insurance Awareness Day in the Southwest region. According to Daniel Ekole, very few victims get compensation at the end because they buy insurance policy from fake people, and since they can't be compensated because the contract is not in the database, and this paints a negative image to others. He, however, advised Cameroonians to always get their insurance policy from recognized insurance company provider rather than making use of middleman.
You discover that when you go to that company, that policy is not inscribed in the machine of that company. And when you want to be compensated, you have to go to that company. And when your name is not in their machine, they will not compensate you. So the advice here is that people should go to well-recognized insurance companies, not through middlemen. Go straight to the company and be attended to.
On his part, the spokesperson for insurance company provider in the Southwest region, Mr. Pius Orok Eno, says he is satisfied with the smooth partnership between the state and insurance company provider, especially in organizing an awareness day to educate the local population on insurance. Representing the Minister of Finance, the Sub-Director for Accreditation at MINFI disclosed that measures are being put in place to eliminate fraud within the insurance sector.
The awareness day is to sensitize the population, to make the public to know that the mechanism that the government put in place is in such a way that insurance companies, if you are insured legally, the government is there to assure you that when the damage or when this incident that you insured occurs, you are actually paid for. That's one of the reasons why we give to reassure the public that the trust that it's between the insurer and the insured has to be re-established.
It is worth mentioning the Cameroon government has put in place diverse mechanisms such as a digital platform that is in charge with attestation of insurance company providers.
Members of the Trinity Choir Association of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon have celebrated their annual rally under the theme, Be a Blessing. Aspects like gender equality, capacity building schemes, the promotion of cultural pluralism alongside other competitions through evangelism graced the occasion. Darling Gandhi was part of the event, which took place here in Douala. She compiled the following.
It is the season of rallies and come-togethers for groups and movements in the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon. And this time around, members of the Trinity Choir Association of the East Mungo and Mungo Presbyteries of the Church have answered presents like their peers nationwide to celebrate their annual rally. Officiated by the host pastor, the Reverend Ayok Jones Ibot, alongside his associates at the Presbyterian Church BONAMOUSSADI DOUALA. Activities to mark this year's edition began with the exhibition of arts and crafts, Bible quiz, the display of farm products, culinary showcase, singing and dancing competitions, just to name but these. The Trinity Choir Association, which evangelizes predominantly in the foreign Nigerian mother tongue Igbo, the elder of the choir, says it is for this reason.
Because we have a very strong Nigerian population and community in Cameroon, and I can assure you that in every quarter you have Nigerians. So we find it important that we should also worship God in other languages other than English or other dialects. Let's try in Igbo, and that is what Trinity Choir is trying to promote.
Celebrating under the theme, Be a Blessing, the elder once more.
The theme of the rally this year is Be a Blessing. So the take-home message is that as they go to their various congregations, they should be a blessing to their congregants.
And as a way of ensuring the continuity of the association, funds were raised by the congregants together with members of the 6 groups making the zone. Talking now to one of the patrons to the choir, his take on the evolution of the association is this.
The number of choristers have increased a lot, especially in my own church, BONAMOUSSADI. We used to have a very limited number, but this time discovered that there were so many youths that joined the choir, and there's a lot of innovation, dancing style and all whatnot.
Besides the promotion of gender equality, cultural diversification, capacity building schemes, talent display through evangelism, the celebrants also wined, dined and danced in merry of their annual rally.
May is World Lupus Awareness Month, celebrated annually to raise awareness regarding the severity of the disease, as well as show the world the many phases of lupus and the impact of the autoimmune disease. Details with Bokengo Kemia-Worthy.
Lupus is an incurable chronic autoimmune life-threatening arthritic disease affecting about 5 million people worldwide, mostly women of childbearing ages between 15 and 44.
Basically, the immune system starts recognizing parts of somebody's own body as foreign and starts attacking them. It doesn't have any cure, so it generally is lifelong. So it mostly affects women of reproductive age. It's most common in African Americans. The classic dogma is that it's females of reproductive age. It's 10 times more common in women.
With symptoms ranging from mild to severe, such as extreme fatigue, hair loss, cardiovascular diseases, strokes, disfiguring rashes, painful joints, amongst others. The disease has 4 different forms, which are systemic lupus, drug-induced lupus, neonatal lupus, and cutaneous lupus. These forms differ from person to person.
What they go through depends on what kind of lupus they have. Some patients will have a much more severe disease where they develop kidney, lung, or brain involvement. Some patients will have mild disease, mostly with rashes and joints. Occasionally you can tell what kind of lupus they will have based on their serological profiles, and some autoantibodies may signify a higher risk of some subtypes of lupus. But in general, it is a chronic disease that can flare from time to time, so patients can do very well between these flares. In general, they may have an average of 1 or 2 flares a year, and during those flares, Again, depends what the disease is attacking, but they can be disabled. They may miss days of work. It may affect their family life. It can affect their functional ability to do activities of daily living.
It should be borne in mind that one's genes play a prime role in the predisposition to the development of the disease in one's system. This can lead to a life-threatening health condition due to the lack of early diagnosis and poor management, leading to a return to 15% death of the 5 million affected persons around the world.
In the following report, a topic content profiles the late coach of national cycling team, Dieudonné Ntep, who died yesterday following an accident along the Bankomo Road. A topic content in the French language.
Né le 28 décembre 1959 à Ezeka, Ntep Dieudonné est un ancien cycliste de la nationalité camerounaise avant de devenir entraîneur de son pays. En 1981, il participe à la course individuelle sur route et aux épreuves de contre-la-montre par équipe aux Jeux olympiques d'été de 1984 aux États-Unis d'Amérique à Los Angeles. Fin de carrière en cette date, il entreprend de suivre une longue formation en tant qu'un entraîneur. En 2004, il entame le stage d'encadreur second degré par son aîné Christian Vast. En 2005, il poursuit la formation avec son président Messi, comme il aimait bien l'appeler. À la même année, il rencontre Ange Houssel, malheureusement paix à son âme. Ce dernier lui avait obligé de commencer avec lui un stage de premier degré. Puis, pour l'optimisation des performances, Ntep Dieudonné décide d'aller se perfectionner davantage dans un club professionnel appelé la Française des Jeux. Depuis près d'une dizaine d'années à maintenant, il était sélectionneur national du cyclisme. Dans une interview accordée à un média il y a de cela un an, l'ancien international camerounais se rappelle de ses prouesses.
J'ai entraîné Woodwork Cycling Team, le club du président Messi, et j'étais encadreur avec Mbarga Michel, paix à son âme. Et nous étions la seule équipe qui parvenait à gagner les courses devant la SNH, Vélo Club. Après Woodwork Cycling Team, je suis parti à l'équipe nationale en 2007. En 2008, nous avons eu une chance aux Jeux africains. Nous avons remporté 2 médailles. Espoir, médaille en argent par équipe et senior, médaille en bronze par équipe. Jusqu'à ce jour, ce sont les seules médailles que l'équipe du Cameroun a pu glaner. Mais au niveau national et international, nous avons gagné beaucoup de compétitions.
61 ans d'âge, Ntep Dieudonné meurt donc dans un accident de circulation survenu hier lundi 10 mai sur l'Asselou Yaoundé-Douala. D'après certaines sources d'information, ce minibus amoché que vous voyez en image a fait une collision avec un camion. Même le blessé grave a succombé à ses blessures. Cette voiture avait à son bord toute l'équipe nationale du cyclisme qui se rendait à l'aéroport international de la capitale économique pour un vol sur le Bénin dans le cadre du tour du pays à destination. Le bilan de cet accident aurait donc fait 2 morts et le reste de personnes seraient sains et saufs.
Prime News NCF, Faith Tataberino coordinated the news produced by Ewane Eli Nolinga. My name is Genda Belgian Blanche King. See you tomorrow at 6:30 for another edition of Prime News. At 7 p.m. Prime Hour will be live with Kim Leonard. Happy viewing and good night.